All right, stop and give me 25. We are going to do wall sit marches. So get in front of a wall. Make sure that your shoes are not going to have any give against that floor. We want really good grip and contact with the floor and the bottom of your feet. So this one, the wall sit march, has some variations that I'll show you to make it easier and harder. But I'll show you first what how I would normally do it, and then we'll talk to the setup, and then we'll go through variations as normal. And the wall sit march does have some similarities with the regular wall sit, but it has some really big key differences. So just watch first. I'm going to show you how I would normally do it. And we are going to just alternate the count, okay? So each lift off of the foot here would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or I could have my hands here, okay? 7, 8. Okay. So here's what's going on. This variation is going to veer from the regular wall sit in several key points, but we'll first show you or talk through exactly what is similar, and then we'll start veering off, okay? The first part is that I like to start away from that wall to set up versus being back here first and then walking feet out. I like to go feet out first. We're picking about 1.5 to 2 feet away from that wall to stand. We're going to take a really fairly narrow stance with the feet so that it's really just hip distance apart, okay? And your knees are going to track with your toes, which is pointing straight forward. Now from here, we're going to shoot the hips back. Use the hands, okay, to get your hands back, or your hips back here. Now see what happens with my pelvis as I engage through the belly button to tighten the core, pressing the belly button to that wall, and that's going to cause the tailbone to tuck under, get that tailbone against that wall. Once that tailbone is against that wall, we're going to work our way up the spine. So we go from the bottom up in order of priority. So once that tailbone is on, then we're going to press the abs against that wall even more to close this gap between your lower back and the wall. Then we'll go mid-back, then we'll go shoulders. This is where the similarities will stop with the regular wall sit. With the regular wall sit, we would go head to the wall as well. All right, now once you're here, then we're going to either shimmy down or just slide straight down into, I would say, about 45 degree, even 30 degrees, all right, for most people, because we do want to make sure we could do that march, okay, before we go any lower. So the most important thing here is that we need to get that foot off, 1 foot off, and we want to make sure we're able to do it first of all, and that we're not going to veer off, you know, and start shifting whatsoever. So we keep everything that we just did intact. What we're going to focus on now, for sure your quads will, you know, be on. What we're going to focus on now is this contact with that bottom of the foot. We're going to focus on the middle of the foot, okay, as the basis, and then as we press down on the middle of the foot, maybe slightly into that heel, then we're going to think about that grip of pretending like we're pushing the ground away, but really focusing on that mid-foot, all right? So definitely no toes coming off, no heels popping off, okay? So from there, your hands could be here, or they could be tapping or against that wall, and you're going to press into that lower ab so that you can stabilize yourself. Press into that foot. You'll feel that quad engage even more as you start lifting off that other foot and up. Okay, So this is where you'll feel the imbalances if you feel like one side is harder or makes you shift, okay, versus the other. Or if you don't, or if you feel unevenness in the contact with the floor, with the foot, okay? So the big key here is going to be really compressing those abs against that wall, okay? The quads are going to fire, it has no choice, okay? And then focusing on that foot placement to bring it off. So how do you make it easier? So easier, of course, is to just stay higher up on that wall, and then, so it might look something like this, okay? Like so. So you'll take some load off the quad. You'll still have to compress your abs. One thing to watch out for is to make sure that your knees are not coming in or splaying out, or that you're finding that you're tensing up on the upper part of the spine or your arms, okay? So let the arms be relaxed, whether they're here or here, so that you really send all your attention into your abs and the quads and the feet. To make it harder, of course, you would just get closer to a 90-90, all right? And so that could mean all the way here, even if your ankles are not at 90-90, but again, pressing into that wall, okay? Also, to make it harder, one last variation I'll show you is to use your own hand to resist on the way down, okay? So you're making it harder for you to go all the way to the floor and then getting additional time under tension, all right? Now to get out of it, I know I've popped off in different ways. I would do the reverse of how we got in. I would use the arms, the hands, okay, to push myself off as I walk back, all right? So give that a go. Don't worry if it seems really difficult, just work on it. And then you could also work on the regular wall sits as well, full head to the back on those if you can. Give it a go.